What's up everyone? Welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to show you how I made this really cool trivet. To make a trivet, I need a tile. So I scavenged through my local home center looking for just the perfect one. This is the tile that I picked out. Really cool pattern. So now I'm going to cut a piece of 1/2 inch thick MDF for this to sit on top of. So I'm just going to measure this and it comes out to 7 7/8. Couldn't just round up to 8, huh? Anyway, I'm going to cut the piece of MDF and just make it just slightly bigger than my tile. Tile, MDF, fits on there perfectly. So here's my plan. I want to make this rectangular, a couple handles. It'll look nice. You could put it on a stand, you could hang it on the wall, or you could just throw it into a drawer and get it out of sight. Now to do that, I'm going to take this and I want to frame it out with a hardwood. As far as the hardwoods go, I'm going to use red oak. Reason being is that I have a ton of it. Also, it's relatively inexpensive for a domestic in my area. The downside is that I don't like the look of red oak. It has these deep grain, this super deep grain that's like, I have a plan on how to fix that later, so let's not worry about. Let's take our MDF and our tile, press it up against the board, take a pencil. We need to cut this. I cut my strips to about 16 inches long. So now I'm going to take this and connect it to that. I cut some spacers. These are 4 inches long, and I could put them on either side of my board there. And then I know that this guy is right in the middle. Now to connect these two, I was thinking, how about dowels? I haven't used dowels in a long time. I have this little dowel jig that I got from Rockler. Not sponsored, but it works really well. You could clamp it onto your piece. You got a drill bit here with a drill stop. And then you just basically drill your holes and that went together pretty good. So now what I'm thinking is we go to the table saw, we cut a couple more pieces. We do maybe a wider piece that would butt up against the tile, and then a couple thin pieces down here that's going to be really for the handles. Just like with our MDF, I'm going to take these and connect them to our long pieces by just adding a couple dowels on each one. Okay, not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and glue this whole thing together, and then after that's dry, we're going to work on getting rid of all of this oakiness. I sanded the trivet to 180 grit, so now it's time to take all that oakiness and make it go away. And to do that, I'm going to use this. This is some Timber-Made wood filler. I really like it a lot because it's water-based, which means I can take this, I can put this in a container, mix it with water, and basically make a slurry, and then apply it. And by watering it down like that, it helps it to get in all those little tiny grain pockets. Otherwise, if you just try to put wood filler on this by itself, a lot of times it'll just coat the surface, but it won't get down inside the actual grain. Watering it down does that. So I'm going to put some of this in my bucket, mix it up with some water, and then we're gonna... Another reason why I like Timber-Made is that you don't really waste a whole lot. I was using this container for another project in my house. I'm doing some stairs and turning my stairs black. So I was doing the same thing, doing some pour filling. Well, all this stuff was dry in this container, add a little bit of water, and now it all comes back to life and it's all usable again. since this is all water-based, it dries pretty quickly, so we just have to be patient and wait for it to dry. I use some 180 grit to sand away the wood filler, and you can really start to see the difference. It removes the filler off the top, but it stays inside the pores, inside the grain of the wood, and now it is super smooth. At this point, I need to seal all this in. So to do that, I'm gonna get out my spray gun, and I'm gonna shoot it with some sanding sealer. First, I need a place to spray. Yes, I made a giant spray booth in my shop, and this is completely oversized for spraying a little trivet. Well, that's because I'm spraying a whole lot of other stuff too, so, you know. While I'm spraying this, let me give a big shout out to our newest members of our superhero community over on Patreon. Joe Lalo, Janet Cook, thank you so much for your support. The support I get from Patreon helps me to make better videos, more videos here on YouTube. I applied 2 coats of sanding sealer, so now I'm going to hit it with some 400 grit. Home stretch on this project, it is time to turn this thing black. And to do that, I am going to spray it with some of this. This is General Finishes Black Satin Poly. I cannot believe how this turned out. If you think about it, it's pretty crazy. This was red oak, and red oak is like the oakiest of oaks. It has super deep grain, but we're able to fill in all that grain, sand it down, get a good coat of black on there, and now it is silky smooth. It's exactly what I was picturing in my head. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel. And until we meet again, get in your shop and build something awesome.